So why is it taking the National Visa Center, NVC, so long to schedule immigrant visa interviews? This is one of the most common questions I get asked, and it's a follow-up to a bunch of videos that I've done recently explaining the situation for you guys who are waiting for your visa interviews. So let's talk about it and try to get clearance why NVC is taking so long to schedule your visa interview. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Immigration Channel. This is where we explain complex immigration matters in short, simple videos. We make immigration easy. In this video, I'll answer one of the most common questions I get asked often. Why is it taking so long for the National Visa Center, NVC, to schedule visa interviews right now? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the size of the backlog now that we're ending the fiscal year, coming close to October, the new fiscal year for immigration, and explain to you the document to complete process. You understand what you have to do to avoid any further delays, as well as how fast these NVC cases get out once you register everything and become document to complete. We've got some good news about this particular part as well, and some bad news about some other parts of this process. So before we do that, if you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show this video to more people just like you. As always, if you need help with your immigration matter, if you're stuck, if your visa is delayed, if you need to move cases from embassy to an embassy, or just start the process, you don't know where to go, all you have to do is send me a text 619-483-4549 to schedule your consultation with me so we can discuss your case and move forward in the process. So now let's jump in right into the video. So as you know, if you're watching my channel, I'm trying to break down this process to different videos, different categories. We've recently done videos explaining the process of moving cases from one embassy to another, the pros and cons. We talked about why is there a backlog at U.S. embassies and what's the status of different embassies and consulates. And sometimes I also give you updates about NVC. In this video, I want to talk specifically about the NVC backlog and also the time frame that it takes NVC to process your applications to qualify you as documentary complete, explain what documentary complete is, and how soon can they actually schedule your visa interviews right now as we end the fiscal year for immigration. Current backlog as of late July, beginning of August, is 378,000 cases that are documentary complete, waiting for interviews. These are cases that are done and just sitting at NVC waiting to be scheduled. Now, out of all these cases, you've got every month, out of all these cases, only about 40,000 of these were actually scheduled for visa interviews in late July, beginning of August. So think about it. Almost 380,000 cases ready to go and only 40,000 actually getting scheduled. So you can see what a small percentage of them are actually being scheduled. And why is it happening? It's happening because National Visa Center is working diligently to go through these cases, but the U.S. embassies and consulates worldwide are not able to open enough interview slots to receive all these cases. And this is a result of procedurals. This is a result of different countries have different capacities, and different countries have more applicants than other countries. For example, if you look at embassies like Islamabad, Mumbai, Manila, and even places like Lagos, those particular consulates and embassies are not able to handle large volumes at the moment. They're trying, but they're still not able to do so. And as a result, if you look at majority of these cases, a lot of these cases that are stuck in backlog are coming from countries like Pakistan, India, the Philippines, Nigeria, Brazil, and those embassies from those countries are not able to take enough cases, and as a result we've got this big backlog. Countries are moving faster and are getting interviews, and therefore the State Department is able and allowing applicants to move cases between different consulates on a case-by-case basis. And again, we talked about that in another video, when and how you should do that and if it makes sense for your case. So let's understand first what documentary complete means so you know what you have to do to get there as soon as possible. Once your case is approved at the USCIS, your IM authority is approved, you'll receive an email from the National Visa Center, and you'll be able to create an account and start paying the fees and start uploading all the necessary documents that they need. At this stage, when you receive this notification, make sure you pay the correct fees and set up this account as soon as possible. The sooner you move through this process, the faster it will be for NVC to work on your case and process your application. You will only receive a document to complete notification, an email, or if you log into their account, if all the documents they need are provided. And these documents are the following. First of all, immigrant visa affidavit of support fees, the correct fees. You have to pay those fees as soon as possible, as soon as you have the account. Complete form DS-260. Make sure you complete every single box on this form and do it correctly. Any mistakes on this form will result in delays in your National Visa Center processing. Then you have to complete the actual affidavit of support that you just paid for and all the supporting documents. That includes tax returns, W-2s, tax transcripts, all the documents they need to complete this part of the application. And finally, all the civil documents they need, birth certificate, marriage certificates, everything, correct copies, visible, nothing unclear, nothing on double pages. Make sure you do all this correctly. If you upload all these documents I just mentioned, you're going to be quite ahead in the process and almost ready to go. The NVC's job, the National Visa Center's job, is simple. They manage your case until they deem you documented complete. For example, if your I-864 form is not complete, they'll send you a notification. We need more documents. If the supporting documents you provided with this form are not good, they'll send you a notification. If the fees you paid, there's a problem, they'll let you know as well. So if the civil documents you uploaded are not uploaded clearly, they can't read it, they are wrong documents, they'll let you know. You'll be stuck in that process. You're not going to be considered documented complete. Once they have all these documents and they deem your case documented complete, you'll receive an email and notification in your account that you're now documented complete, and you'll join the other 380,000 people that are currently documented complete waiting to be scheduled for a visa interview. Why are these embassies and consulates not opening enough visa appointments? The reason is simple. Many of these embassies and consulates are understaffed. The procedures are different from embassy to embassy, and the country conditions also dictate it. In addition, many of these embassies that are problematic have too many people that are applying in those posts, and therefore their capacity to process cases is very limited. Again, mentioning Mumbai, mentioning Islamabad, and mentioning Lagos. The good news is that from the moment you upload your documents to the NVC and you create your account and you give them all the documents, you should be getting documented complete results in 2 weeks or even less, as opposed to just a few months ago where this process took quite a few months. Now the NVC is very quick in processing documented complete cases as long as you give them all the information. Therefore, as I mentioned to you, as soon as you're able to do so, do it properly, do it methodically, so there's no mistakes on your end, allowing the NVC to question it further and asking for more documents and more information. If you do everything correct on your side, you'll be documented complete in 2 weeks or less. The problem now is the US embassies and consulates that are not opening enough interview slots. And therefore, people are trying to communicate with those embassies. You email them, you stay connected with them, and you try to do your best to make sure that you are top of mind when necessary. The embassies are not going to communicate with you until the NVC will send the case to them once they open an interview slot. So if you email an embassy and your case is not scheduled or even sent there, nothing is going to happen. But it's really important to understand that quite a few people actually get scheduled and still mess up. For example, we had a client that was scheduled by NVC, but the client decided to reschedule because there were some issues. They were not able to attend. They tried to move things around. If you reschedule, then for sure your case will be delayed. So try to do your best not to reschedule any interviews. As soon as you get assigned, you have to make an effort to do so. As soon as you get scheduled, also make all the efforts to get your medical exam done as soon as you can. And also, once you get scheduled, make sure you register your appointment online with the US Embassy that you're gonna get an interview with, because they have an option to do so. If you do register, they'll have your email address, your phone number, and it will be easier for them to contact you quicker. So again, as soon as you have assigned an appointment, register yourself online with the embassy. Make sure you do the medical exam as soon as possible, and never ever reschedule this appointment, because that's gonna push your case very, very backwards. Again, this is good news for those of you that are actually getting scheduled. To get to the point of scheduling, they are working hard to open up more of these interview slots, and you'll see that probably after October, the fiscal year is going to start. We'll see probably more and more good news coming from those embassies and consulates. Just like NVC is speeding up processing, we'll see embassies and consulates doing the same. And hopefully this information is very helpful. We try to give you the most up-to-date information about NVC processing, immigrant visa interviews, and everything related to your journey to get your green card in time. If you do need help with your immigration case, you know where to find me, 619-483-4549. I'm here to help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.